Marshall. Going into this game, we knew it was going to be a challenge because they're so different from the teams that we had just played, just stylistically a lot different. And I thought the first half, our guys just did an amazing job of setting our defense, of running quality offense, and really sharing the basketball, taking care of the basketball, and just really played well overall. And a lot of different contributors. Malik obviously was hot in the first half and really got us going. But there was more guys than that in that first half that played really well. But you have to have the combination of offense and defense to be at your best. And certainly, our guys did a nice job in that first half. When we got away from that in the second half, you can see how it can impact you overall. I thought our shot selection wasn't great. We weren't getting as clean of looks, as we wanted to in the middle portion of that half. And you got to credit Marshall. They did a good job of getting out on us and putting a little bit more pressure on us. And it impacted our defense. And so you have to have both throughout. But I thought our guys did a nice job of righting the ship there and finishing in a positive way.
Yeah, you mentioned the first half. I was going to ask you, when you had it going at certain times, like that 15-0 run, is that kind of what you envisioned when you were putting this team together in terms of having so many guys that can hurt you?
Yeah, there's no question about it. The depth is something that, we're going to have to lean on, this year. And we have a lot of different guys on the roster that could easily say, hey, I should be starting, or this or that or the other. And we have to get past that as a group, because it's not about one individual. It's about the team, and we've hammered that home with them since the day we recruited them, and the day that they stepped on campus together. And part of being able to play this style is having the depth, in order to do that. And we like our team and the collection of guys that we've put together.
Coach, you already mentioned sharing the basketball, and coming into the year, you also talked about playing with pace, dictating and disrupting defensively. After these straight 80-plus outings and the 61-point first half today, how close does that feel to like the identity you've envisioned for this team?
Yeah, I mean, there were times out there where we got the turnover and then Dallin makes the three. I mean, there were some times out there where it was like, okay, the guys they're really imposing their will and might on the game. And, I think, we're going to have ebbs and flows. You're not going to play perfect basketball. And but our goal right now is just to continue to try to get better. Every practice, every shoot-around, every game, every film session, to just improve and, try to get the guys, playing, to their full potential. And it's still really early in the season. We're only 4 games in. And so by no means are we where we need to be, right now. And, we're excited about where we're at, but, we need to get a lot better.
Tess and Johan had a lot of success tonight. Last game it was Ugo. Where have your bigs been finding success these first 4 games? And then, you have a couple power conference teams next weekend. What do you see about what they've been doing that's going to translate against those teams?
Yeah, they're all 3 really good players. Tess is physical and can get to the basket and has the touch, on some of his passing, in pick and roll and just in general. Johan, you saw him tonight. He can make a shot, from behind the arc. I know he hasn't shot it, to the point where he has wanted to so far this year, but he's a good shooter and we're confident in him. He can catch around the rim and put it in. He's really good at protecting our basket. And then Ugo is very similar in that regard. He protects the rim. He can stretch you a little bit, and just really overall helps our flow. Now, they were facing a monster tonight. They got 7-4, and you catch it around the rim. It's not like, playing the normal basketball player. And there were a couple of times where our guys did a nice job of getting around him. And there were others where we picked it up, and you're not getting a shot off on 7-4 like that.
and we have to be a little bit smarter there. But I thought the guys, adjusted well, and so we're confident in the front court. And then once Devin gets back, that'll be another player that we can put out there that is a good player, all around.
You touched on it there a little bit, but facing 7-4 Van Komen, just talk about, especially as you guys are going to face some Power 5 opponents this upcoming week, just how valuable was that opportunity to kind of go against an opponent that had a little bit, maybe even a little bit of a size advantage?
Yeah, no, it was great. I mean, it was great for our guys. You can only watch but so much film. You have to feel it, and obviously we felt it, pretty early. You saw a couple times early in the game where if he's near the basket and our guys come over, and our guys are used to coming over to protect the rim and block shots, well, if he's there, he's just going to put it in. The guards, there's no such thing really as a cover down, block out, or a veer box at that point because he's just too big. And so it's an adjustment, for us, and you have to stay more attached to a guy like that, which can impact your guards and your ability. I thought to stay in front, the importance of that. They made a lot of hard two-point shots, over the course of the game. And stylistically, we didn't want them shooting catch-and-shoot threes, and they really search it. And I thought our guys did a nice job of getting out behind the line and forcing them inside the line. And but they made some hard ones, throughout.
Coach, so far each opponent has had one guard that has kind of gotten going.
Yeah.
What are you seeing there? What are your concern level with that at this point in the season?
Yeah, a good question. I think every game that we're going to play, we're going to play a team that is going to have a leading scorer, coming out of that game. The key is minimizing, how they play, right? And I think our guys did that for the most part. You look at Fricks. I mean, he only attempted 3 threes in the game. Spear only attempts 4, in the game. Coming into the game, I mean, Fricks was 7 for 8, in the last game. And so from that perspective, our guys did a nice job. You got to play their percentages. But, certainly there are areas where we can get better. A lot of it's related to pick and roll defense. But we like to have our guys back, and we want guys running into the 7-footers a lot. And so we're willing to, give up, some of those harder twos at times. And if guys make them, then you kind of have to tip your cap. If it becomes a real problem, then you have to switch the coverage.
Attendance has been down this season here so far. Got about 1,000 less people the first couple of games this year than last year. What do you think about is causing that? I mean, you have a football team here that's good for once. You have a whole new cast of guys. Have you looked at those numbers at all?
No, I haven't noticed that. I mean, obviously, I've never coached here, so I'm not sure. We're thankful for all the fans, that come every game and support us, and we're really appreciative. I mean, it's an imposing building, when it gets really loud, and so we're going to need that throughout. We really appreciate, most importantly, the students, right, coming, and they're busy. 12 o'clock's an early game, and we had a 9 o'clock game, the other night. That's a late game. And so they're factors, that can, send it one direction or another. But I think our guys have done their part in trying to get out there and get in front of the fans and, be a part of this community. And so we're thankful for all the fans that come to support us.
Coach, Marshall seemed to struggle a bit against the press, especially on inbounds in the first half. With this being one of the better offenses you faced so far, how confident are you in that part of your scheme and system going into your first 2 power teams? Yeah,
we need it to be a strong suit for us. The goal, again, is not to force turnovers. We were able to do that in the first half. They had 12 turnovers in the half, and some were up there and some were in the half court. But I do like the pressure, and I like the depth, going back to that first question that we have, and we just got to stay with it and try to keep improving it. And I think you can see the fruits of some of the labor that we've been putting in. Thanks, Coach. All right, thanks.